Anyway, fans, so the first thing I want to talk about today is the news that James Cameron wrote a Terminator script that would be about AI. Now, when it comes to Terminator franchise, I love the first two. They're great movies. The franchise, to me, went downhill after that. I like Salvation, but even that's not anywhere near the quality of the first two originals. And T3, Genesis, and Darth Vader I thought were awful, and it got so convoluted with the timelines later on. But I'll admit, I would be excited for Tony maybe if it was a reboot and if James Cameron was directing it. I mean, I do like the fact he's saying he wants to focus more on AI instead of just machines killing people. So at least it sounds like he definitely wants to like do a like focus on something new in the franchise where it's not just the same thing repeating itself over and over again like the Terminator sequels did after T2. But I would only be excited for this if he directs it. If it's him just writing it or just a producer, that's where I'll admit I wouldn't be hard to say because he was a producer in Genesis and Dark Fate, and I thought those two movies were shit. So like I like the idea of him focusing on AI and wanting to like focus on something different with the franchise, and I would be all for a reboot. It's a completely new story, new characters. But if they ever do something do to Terminator movie that he's written, so he's saying he's waiting to see how AI grows. Then I would be excited for it if he directs it. If he's just writing it, producing it, I would have less interest. But I definitely think you need to reboot the franchise and definitely come and have somebody come in with a new idea. Next thing I want to talk about is the G.I. Joe and Transformers movie being rumored in development. I mean, I'll say this, I'm a big Transformers fan. I like the first Michael Bay one, I love Bumblebee. I even love the animated Transformers movie based on the 80s animated series. But when it comes to G.I. Joe, I haven't liked any of the G.I. Joe movies. And I'll be honest, I was never somebody who was a fan of G.I. Joe. Like it's not something that I'm attached to. And I think you need to put out an actual good G.I. Joe movie before you do a crossover between the two franchises. And the state Transformers is in right now, that film series. To me, it's like, I feel like you have to wait a little bit. Like, I wouldn't be personally excited because I'm just not a G.I. Joe fan, so that crossover doesn't really, excite me. But I can see why I'd be excited if you are, like, a G.I. Joe and a Transformers fan, but I think they need to, I mean, it's just rumored, but if it ever happened, I think you need to kind of, get both franchises on track before you do, a crossover. Next thing I want to talk about is, with Deadpool 3, I know the writer's strike and everything, that Ryan Reynolds can't ad-lib on Deadpool 3 like he did on Deadpool 2, because I think he was the co-writer on Deadpool 2, he helped out with the script more on Deadpool 2 than he did Deadpool 1. And I do think this might affect the movie because from what I heard, he does a lot of ad-libbing on the Deadpool movies, and that is part of the character. So I hope this doesn't affect the movie. I hope they just have a great script ready to go. So I mean, it might do nothing. Hopefully, it doesn't affect the quality of the movie. But I definitely still excited for Deadpool 3, but I hope it doesn't, like I said, affect the quality of the movie. That's all the movie news. Talk to you later, movie fans.